Hey, so while I'm going through this whole protocol for myself, something kind of cool has happened in the last week. I mean, not cool, but exciting to have these products in my home because an opportunity came up to use them with my 5-year-old daughter, and I want to share a little bit about her story. And we're just starting it, so we'll see how she progresses. But so my daughter Sadie is 5, and she's always had really bad anxiety that specifically goes to her gut, right? So we've been talking to her a lot since she was pretty small about like when she gets really upset, she's like, "Oh, mommy, I have such a bad tummy ache. I feel like I'm gonna die. Like oh, this is so bad." And we've kind of gotten in the habit of explaining, like, "Okay, Sade, what's upsetting you? Like, how are you doing? Like, what are you scared of?" And there's usually something pretty obvious that we can point to that's upsetting her, right? So, in the last month, we have had 2 power outages in our home. The first, we were displaced for 4 days with my in laws, waiting for the power to come back on because we live in the sticks. The second time, it was just a day. Well, after the second time, we got back into our home that night, uh, the day after. So, we're back now, right? The power went out for a day, but now we're back. Um, Sadie woke up really, really upset, like really sore tummy. Mommy, my tummy's hurting so bad. And I pretty quickly was like, I bet that's because, of the power outages in my mind. So I'm like, Sadie, were you really upset about that? And yes, sure enough, she cries and she feels better. And like, oh yeah, it was so awful. But so we went and did our thing that day. It's a Friday. We get home and around 4 o'clock, she goes to the bathroom and she comes out and she's scared. And she's like, Mommy, my poo, it was white and foamy. And I'm like, how white? And she's like, it was the color of the bathroom floor. And she's freaked out. Like I can see it on her face. So I'm like, okay, all right. Next time, show me. She flushed it. So I Google it. That's what you do when you're mom. And the stuff that pops up was actually kind of freaky. It's like malabsorption, pancreatitis, like something. It could just be IBS or it could be something really severe. So I tell my husband, and we're kind of like, all right, we got to pay attention and see, like, gosh, God forbid this kid has like a chronic issue, and we've been saying it's stress. Like, what if she's actually had something working on her for like a while? So that night at 1 in the morning, she comes into my room and she's like, I'm in so much pain, Mommy. It's so much worse than it usually is. And really sad, like really upset. So now I'm like, oh, great. We're totally going to the doctor in the morning. And I'm a little nervous. So take her to the pediatrician in the morning. They do a physical exam, feel her tummy. I explain everything. And they're like, she looks beautiful. There's nothing wrong. It's psychosomatic, right? And I explain the anxiety thing too, and they're like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Their recommendation is to put her on Zantac for a week, right? Because they say, well, if her body responds, like her brain tells her tummy to get upset, then she's producing too much acid. So the idea is if we put her on Zantac for a week, it'll teach her body to produce less acid, right? I did research about Zantac before when she was an infant, and they suggested it. And you can your body can get addicted to that super easily. Like it needs it to function normally because it's keeping the acid production down. So I'm like not super convinced that's a great idea anyway. But I happen to have a program in my home that is reparative, and it's focusing on the gut and the brain and like how they interact and all this psychosomatic stuff. What if it's actually really in her tummy? Like what if her brain and her gut are actually connected? And if we can get her gut health up, it will help her brain. Like it'll help her be less anxious and just process things the way she was designed to process. How cool is that? So I've started Sadie on the Mentabiotics, which is that one powdered of the 3 I showed you in the fundamentals pack. There's a powdered one that's probiotic. I emailed Dr. Sean Talbot about it, and he got back to me and said we usually start, if there's a chat for children, we put them on half a dose of that once a day. So we've been doing that for a week, and so far so good. I mean, there haven't been any tummy aches. I'm really waiting to see, like long term, what the results are like, because I'm doing it every morning and throwing it in her smoothie, and we'll see. So I'll keep you updated on Sadie's story too. But how cool if there's a way to help kids. I mean, she's a really mild case of like just a situation that's really hard for a child, and like if there's a natural way to like make her life a little more Like, and to have her body operating the way it was designed to before she gets a little older and is labeled as having anxiety disorder or something crazy, you know? Like, if we can fix that on a physical level, I don't know. I was just really excited and wanted to share that with you. So, yay!